Hey everyone, Aussie Viking here. So let's talk about multiplayer only games and why they're not as good as they should be. Now, multiplayer only games are not a bad thing. You got Overwatch, which is multiplayer only, and that's critically acclaimed. You had old games such as Quake 3 Arena, which was just multiplayer, no single player at all. Not really, anyway. You have the Unreal Tournament series, they were multiplayer only. So we hear a lot about today. Oh, it's multiplayer only. You can't play it offline. There's no single player. Now, yes, it does suck there's no single player. Totally agree. But we have to look into it. We have to look into why, like these games, why were Unreal Tournament, Quake 3 Arena, and Overwatch well-received games, yet they have no campaign. First of all, gameplay was solid and all that. Was just solid. However, the biggest thing, other than the solid gameplay and the great graphics and level design, is the fact that you could play these games offline. You could be like, you know what, I want to play this offline. Click off the internet, bam, you can play it offline. Or if you just wanted to play offline while connected to the internet, you just do it all offline. You can't necessarily do that with today's games. Such things as Battlefront 2015, Rainbow Six Siege, and to an extent even Overwatch, which is a bit strange for me. So, all these games you could play offline. Every one of these games you could play offline. You could go, you know what, I want to play this warfare mode offline with just bots, with mutators, you know, go for it. And you could. You didn't need to go online. You could get a lot of experience playing this game offline without having to go online at all. And you had a full experience game. You had beautiful maps, well designed. You had AI that was fun and fast and hard, if you wished it to be so. And you had mutators which gave the game progress. You could have more ammo, more health, more armor, so on and so forth. Now, we're not really getting these in these new games. The new Star Wars has a few co-op modes, but there's no offline modes. You can't play certain modes online that you want to play offline. Things such as Rainbow Six, you cannot at all play the game modes really offline. You can do the training missions, which are quite fun, and this is one of the things I got to say about Rainbow Six Siege that works, is the gameplay and level design is perfection. It's so good. It makes you feel like you're a badass, just blowing walls out, you know, being tactical, like, alright, there's a guy above me, put some explosives up there, bing, bang, he explodes. It actually makes me think, well, I've even got a Die Hard game in this engine. Like, honestly, could you imagine a Die Hard game within this engine here? It would be amazing. Little hint, Ubisoft. But that all works, but you can't really play it offline. You got the training missions, but you haven't got the customization. Now, you do have the customization in the terrorist hunt mode, which you can add all the upgrades and mods and such onto your guns, and it's really fun. However, you do not get to play offline the secure area mode, the bomb mode, the hostage mode. You don't really get to play those. Now, by what I mean with the hostage stuff, so in terrorist hunt, you got the classic terrorist hunt where you eliminate all terrorists. In extract the hostage, you got to find the hostage and extract them. And with the protect the hostage, you got to protect them and stop a whole lot of people trying to attack you. And then you've got the disarm bombs, where you have to find 2 bombs on the map and defuse them while holding off terrorists trying to stop you. Sometimes 1. For multiplayer though, the hostage is you take turns trying to rescue a hostage. The deathmatch is you secure the area and you take turns either defending a small area or trying to take it over. With the team deathmatch bomb, you take turns defending a bomb or planting a diffuser to defuse the bomb, and they can only really be won by eliminating enemy teams. Now, you could technically play these offline by just having AI bots as your teams, and yes, they're probably going to die pretty fast and pretty well. But then, if you're a lone wolf, I played better as a lone wolf most of the time anyway. So you could do them. It'd be hard, but you should be able to play these offline, I think. Sure, terrorist hunt, which is random, you cannot select which mode you want to play, is interesting, and it's a set objective. You start off, you can customize your character, which is great. You can go in and try different routes. You can play the thing over and over again, and it's different each time. That's great, but it can get boring after a while. And the situations, yes, you can get 3 stars in each all, and if you get all the stars, it's fine. But then what do you do next? And the game would be a lot more well received if the offline modes were played offline. And yes, I know everyone's just like, well, the game is a 4-player mode, like a 5-player online mode game. And it's like, well, so the Unreal Tournament was an online mode game, only sort of game, and you could play that offline and it worked well. Yes, in this one it's more tactical, but playing this game alone is fantastic. Playing it alone and having to be more tactical. You got to think about what's going to happen behind you. You know, you blow a door, you kill everybody in there. You got to think, do I pick up the hostage to get out of there, and just run to make it, or do I fit a few explosives on the ground, wait for the guys to come up and try to get me, blow them up, and then leave so I haven't got much people trying to kill me from behind? That's fun on itself. If you're in a full 5-player mode, you're like, alright, I got him, let's go, defend me. It actually is a lot funner to an extent when you're alone. And that's the thing, like, most multiplayer only game modes work better if you have every mode available offline. Yes, you have to do extra time with the bots, it may be a hard thing to do, but when you get it out like that, it works. I'd rather a game with like 50 maps, a realistic amount of multiplayer modes, and the ability to play them all offline, because that's what dampens the initial reaction of what you're doing. So if you make a multiplayer only game with no single player, if you let a lot of great modes offline, then it weakens it. It's like, well, you know what, this is a multiplayer only game, but you can play it offline. So all the great gameplay you see, if you haven't got friends, or if you don't really care for online, you can sit back offline. You know, we got split screen if you want. There you go. That dampens the initial like, wait, no campaign, and honestly can make a game a lot better received, because it's like, hey, offline all. There you go, guys. Have fun. That's what gives it its depth. And that's why I really hope with Rainbow Six Siege 2, if they do one, they'll allow you to do offline mode and actually be able to play everything offline, because even Terrorist Hunt mode, which you can play offline, from what I understand, can only be played while you still connect to the internet. You can play it offline, but you can't be like, alright, disconnect the internet, you know, you can't have the internet gone for a while and be like, you know what, I want to play some Rainbow Six Siege. Apparently you can't do that. Now, I haven't tried that. It does indeed suck if true, because then the only thing you get offline is situations, which to me really dampens the experience. But if we keep getting our voice out there, get it heard to the developers, they will change. Look at what happened with Battlefront. We complained there was no campaign, we complained that there's no offline modes, and they changed that. They're going to add a campaign for Star Wars Battlefront 2 from what is heard. They're going to possibly do a offline mode, either in a patch or in the season pass that they're doing. So they're listening. Giving it to us, though, if it is in the season pass is kind of dumb, but if it's just in a patch, then that's great. And honestly, I will buy Battlefront Game of the Year Edition if they do one, if it says, here's all the maps, and here's an offline mode. We can play all the maps and all the modes offline, or most of them at least. Because to me, that game looks great. I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I never bought it because, again, it's always online. Similar to what with Rainbow Six Siege, but that was on half price, and if you get on Xbox One, you get 2 to 3 games with it, so, you know, not as bad as you think. Anyway, that's Aussie Viking out for my little talk on the idea of multiplayer-only games. Hope you have a good one. So, Valhalla. Bye.
Securing hostage.
Hostage secured. Move to the extraction point. Keep the hostage safe. Hostiles approaching.
Follow me now.
successful. Good work.